Hello, friends. I welcome you all at my YouTube channel, Study of Political Science SPS Online Classes. This is me, Tilak Raj Sharma, a research scholar, Department of Political Science, University of Jammu. Before going to start with today's lecture, I would like to congratulate all of you because the government nowadays and has started with the recruiting process. SSRB has notified yesterday around 8,000 posts for fourth class employees. So from this onward, we can expect that the newly constituted Public Service Commission of Jammu and Kashmir may also started with its recruitment process. Even while I was talking to an high official, that he was assuring me that the Jammu and Kashmir Public Service Commission may notified maximum of vacancies for 10 plus 2 lecturers, for college assistant professors, and going to notify number of vacancies for Jammu and Kashmir administrative services. So with this, I would like to request you and suggest you that during this COVID-19, what is required is to prepare and taking the benefit of this time while you are sitting at home to the maximum level so that you may be successful during these examinations and the recruitment process. I would like and wish you all the very best. So, on the recommendation and suggestions and the request I am getting through different channels for making few videos and starting with the Indian political system and Indian polity, because maximum of competitive examination from various from different, or I mean in all the aspects, and even if you are facing any competitive examination, Indian polity is one of the component. So today I'll be starting with the Indian political system. uh, this is my request to all the students of political science who are associated with me, that I will be uploading few of the videos simultaneously on political theory as well as political philosophy. So you need not to get harsh on me. So I would like to thank and be asking you for the patience. So before going to start with the Indian political system or the Indian polity, so first important question be asked, that what is constitution? Because in the Indian political setup we are going to study what the constitution and how the constitution is working and how it emerged. So first question, which is quite genuine, that what is a constitution? To answer this, let's start with today's lecture. I have started with that every state must have a constitution. Without a constitution, it is difficult to govern a state. History tells that since the origin of the state, there had been some kinds of rules and regulations. Please note the word rules and regulations in some form to maintain the order and harmony in the state. So, this is actually, giving you a glimpse of that what constitution includes. So, I ask you to note down the word rules and regulations. Why? Because to maintain order and harmony in the state. In every state, be it a democratic or despotic, it is essential that such rules must be accepted which would decide the role and organization of political institutions in order to save the society from anarchy. Now, please note the word anarchy. Why rules and regulations are needed? Because to make the society and the state an ordered state, and to avoid the situation of anarchy, What anarchy, which Hobbes means the war of all against all. In modern states, these rules find expression in the form of constitutions. So, rules and regulations, then, to avoid anarchy, and these rules find expression in the form of a constitution. Now, what the constitution means, if we talk about the derivative meaning of the constitution, so constitution is actually a Latin word, constitutio, CONSTITUTIO, constitution, originally intended to mean, please note the word, originally intended to mean regulations and orders. Regulations and orders such as imperial enactment. So I hope you are understanding the words, such as imperial enactments. Later, the term was adopted by canon law, canon law, for important decisions and declarations, especially a decree issued by the Pope, now popularly known as the Apostolic Constitution. So, the declarations issued by Pope or an order issued by Pope is called Apostolic Constitution. Thus, a constitution, if we are bound to define the constitution, is a cluster of fundamental principles or assimilated established precedents. Please understand the words cluster of fundamental principles are assimilated हो गया इकट्ठा करना, assimilated established precedents that control the governance parameter of the state or other organization. So understand that constitution never mean with the constitution of a state only. So if you talk about certain rules and regulations of a particular organization, or the treaties of an international organization through which it was established, so that treaty and that set of rules and regulations of an organization is also its constitutions. These rules together make up or circumscribe, that is constitute the target organization or entire political system. So when these principles are reduced, when we are talking about the principles in general, so when they are reduced in writing into a single document, you understand? So I mean, when these all rules through which system is organized, so when they are reduced in a writing form, okay, in a single document or a set of legal documents, these documents may be said to embody a written constitution. So you understand that one form of constitution is written constitution. Okay, so if they are comprehensive unitary document, I am using the word comprehensive unitary single document, it is said to embody a codified constitution. So one is written constitution, the other is codified constitution. Codified constitution is single comprehensive unitary document. So there are some other constitutions like that of the Constitution of United Kingdom. You know, when we are talking about the Constitution of India as well as differentiating it with the Constitution of United Kingdom, so we may have a different aspects of the constitution and a different kind of constitution, and we may get confused because the constitution of United Kingdom is unwritten and it is nowhere in existence, but still we called it the constitution. Why? Because the constitution of United Kingdom are which is uncodified, which is not codified yet, and which is not written, but it is actually consisting of numerous fundamental acts of a legislature. Then fundamental acts of a legislature, and if we talk about the other sources of the constitution of United Kingdom, then you may find the court cases and the treaties. So when we talk about the act of the legislature, court cases and the treaties, so it means that this kind of constitution which is ruling the UK is based on certain customs and moral as well as certain legislative acts. The constitution may be drafted for an organization, as I already told you, started from a sovereign state to companies and unincorporated association. So let's talk about, in a broader sense. Like, for example, if we take the example of European Union, which was initially a group of 25 members. So when European Union came into existence, uh, so to make it more effective and more transparent, more democratic, so all these nations decided to replace the existing treaties, which formulate the European Union. So they wanted to replace these treaties with a treaty establishing a constitution for the Europe. So, a single constitution for Europe came out in the form of European Constitution. So you may find, a constitution for an organization. So constitution for a confederation like European Union. So constitution for certain from very small organization or group of people to a very large a confederation of around 25 countries. So constitution is required. So when we started defining the term constitution, we started with the certain rules and regulations which may be written and unwritten. So the codification and uncodified setup, which actually rules the state, are and that organization to make it more transparent and ordered, as well as generalized system. So what I mean, that constitution was much needed. So this all the next slide that I'm showing you is already discussed, that the constitution is the supreme law of the state. It is the foundation and the source of legal authority underlying the existence of the state. It provides for framework for the organization of the state government, obviously. The constitution is the basic design which deals with the structure and power of the government. It also includes the rights and the duties of the citizen. So sometimes it is found in an established body of rules, maxims, traditions, and practices in accordance with which its government it is organized and its power are exercised. So these all things are clear to you. And then I started with I have already discussed this. The term constitution is derived from the Latin word constitutes, which means to establish. The constitution is the basic document of the state. It is the fundamental rule of the state which regulate the distribution of power within organs of the government. Now, this is very important. When Aristotle tries to define the constitution, so constitution is the way in which citizens who are component part of the state are arranged in relation to another. Now this rule say define a constitution as the allocation of principles. Sorry, I wrote the wrong word. Allocation of principle according to which the powers of the government, rights of the government, and relations between the two are adjusted. So let's forget about George Cornwell. Then Austin, yes, Austin, who has given the theory of the legal theory of the sovereignty, defined the constitution as that it fixes the structures of supreme government. So the system of the government is very important person, that it fixes the structure of supreme government. Then on the basis of above definition, we can say that the constitution is the fundamental law of land, may be written and unwritten, deals with the composition and powers of the government, deals with the rights of the citizens, deals with the relationship between the government and the governed. This is very important. That what is constitution? It actually establishes and the relationship between the citizens and the institutions which the citizens established as a state. So the government and the relationship between the people and the government decided by the constitution. So this is again the supreme law of land, and it must be followed by its components. Then why it is needed? A constitution is needed for a variety of reasons, like for example to curb the power of the government by fundamental law, to protect the rights of the individuals. It is needed to establish the principle of rule of law. Please underline this, note it. It established the principle of rule of law, to save the state from anarchy, to define the operation of sovereign power of the state, to limit present and future generations from arbitrary government. Then now, what are the basic characteristics of a good constitution? The first characteristics is clarity and definiteness. It means that every clause or the principle of the constitution should be written in very simple language. It should express its meaning very clearly without leaving any scope of confusion. See, when we talk about the constitution, so constitution sometime may be very confusing, or some strong and the legal terms may used in a constitution. Then various doctrines like read between the doctrine of the reading of between the line, then doctrine of the literal meaning, and the literal meaning may be expressed. So why they be established as doctrines? Because of the confusion in the document, and these are the legal terminologies which we be dealing in future. But what is important for a good constitution is the clarity and its definiteness. Then briefness. The constitution should not be lengthy. It should contain only important things, and then if you talk about certain unimportant things, they must be left out. So I mean, the constitution should not be very bulky. If you are supposed to write down certain principles, then again you are writing. So at large and at last, it may become a very lengthiest document. So it should be avoided, and everything written within the constitution must be very brief. So now, what is constitutionalism? So when we are talking about constitutionalism, it is important to understand the basic difference between the constitution and constitutionalism. So let's try to understand what is constitutionalism. When we are talking about the constitutionalism, so constitutionalism simply means that in a modern concept that desire a political order governed by laws and regulation. It stands for the supremacy of law and not of the individual. It insists limited government. Now, what is important to understand the meaning of the limited government? Limited government is never mean that the government can't do anything. So, limited government actually means that there is a quite check and balance over the working of the constitution, over the working of the government, through a set of rules and regulations that when the government is functioning and when the government is working. So what is important, that all the actions of the government must reflect the enactment and the rules written in the constitution. So government is supposed to work under the constitution, not beyond it. It also stands for the existence of the constitution in the state, since it is the instrument of the government or the fundamental law of the land, whose objects are to limit the arbitrary actions of the government. See the word arbitrary actions of the government. Government is not supposed to do beyond any constitution, and the government is limited under the constitution. To guarantee the rights of the governed and to define the operation of the sovereign power. Meaning, it is the idea often associated with political theories of John Locke and the founders of the American Republic and equated with the concept of the rule of law, that government can and should be legally limited in its power, and that its authority depends on enforcing these limitations. Government in which power is distributed, limited by a system of law that the rulers must obey. The principles that insist on organization and working of the state according to a constitution, so that no organ or office holder of the state is allowed to use arbitrary power. A constitution not only provides for a broader framework of government, but it also prescribes power of various government and the limits of those power. Now, you know, when we are supposed to make certain differentiation between a constitution and constitutionalism, so a constitution I'm talking about the conclusion that a constitution can be defined as the fundamental law, custom, convention, rules and regulations stipulating how a country ought to govern. And while if you talk about the constitutionalism, so first thing you understand what I am saying, that what constitution means, that certain rules and regulations define and saying how government and the people as well as the country ought to govern. But if we talk about the constitutionalism, so it can be defined as a principle which is not just constitution, but put limitation on the activities and on the activities not only of the individual but also of the government. So the implication of constitutionalism is that in exercising its power, the government should be limited by law. We were talking about when we are dealing with the constitutionalism, so we were talking about the limitation on the arbitrary powers of the government. You please note these points. So when we are talking about that how constitution is working, that it is actually putting limitations under the law on the government and checking its arbitrariness. Those limitations which we are talking about are usually enshrined in the constitution. So if we talk about the constitution, a constitution is actually a charter of the government and deriving its whole authority from the governed. You mean when we're talking about the constitution of India, it started from we the people of India. The preamble, the first introductory words, we the people of India. So it means that the source of whole authority which the government is getting to rule over the state, they are getting from the people. So they started with the we the people of India. It means the sole authority which the government is getting is through the governed. And when we're talking about the constitutionalism, it means limited government or limitation on government. It is basically an what we are talking an antithesis of arbitrary power. So I hope you understand what actually constitution and constitutionalism means, and why constitution is important and why constitutionalism is important. So I hope you may be appreciating while sharing it, while subscribing my channel, and I will be highly obliged and thankful for your encouragement. Thank you so much.